Planet Earth, the original boss battle. Pretty much since the dawn of human existence, our native habitat has been trying to kill us, with storms, drought, famine, texting. And so, about 10,000 years ago, we all collectively said screw it and created civilization, the anti-nature, and it's way better. But natural human curiosity causes us to experiment with living as primitive man once did, leading to camping trips, European backpacking cliches, and first-class casinos. But one thing that these activities all have in common is the potential to go desperately wrong. As a result, modern humans are fascinated by wilderness survival. It gives us a sense of safety and control, knowing that we possess some of the ancient knowledge that our distant ancestors used to keep themselves alive on a daily basis. Whether it be yelling out periodically to keep yourself safe in a bear's backyard, or knowing when to use a bird poop enema in bear's backyard. And all this really brings us to the topic of the day. Lara Croft, the first gal of gaming. Lots of folks outside the gaming community are quick to write off this shapely survivor as eye candy, playing purposefully into the male fantasy. But today, in honor of Miss Croft's upcoming adventure, I intend to showcase Lara as the survivor she is, by sharing with all of you how I learned to survive from Tomb Raider. Let's go. Lesson 1. Set absolutely every f***ing thing on fire. It may seem counterintuitive to create such an obvious hazard to yourself in what should be a simple survival situation, but this game puts all those fears to rest by clearly illustrating that fire can be used as a convenient replacement for other hard-to-find tools. Barriers of soggy logs in your way? Set them on fire. Noxious fumes looming in your campsite? It's not like an explosion ever hurt anybody. Find yourself in a bind? Literally, whatever, light yourself on fire. Seriously, one of the first playable portions of this game has Lara lighting herself on fire to escape being hung upside down and wrapped in a sail. To be fair, Lara does exclaim,
This is gonna hurt,
before doing this, but there are no visible burn marks on her in any part of the game. So it must have just added to that great Western European tan. Hell, why do I bother going through the whole rigmarole of taking off yesterday's shirt if the fire is just going to cause the fabric to evaporate? I mean, who was it that said we shouldn't be starting fires in the first place? A bear. He's part of nature. He's the enemy. Who you gonna trust, a British undergrad or some furry impersonating an officer of the law? Lesson 2. Ignore the bullet wounds. Let's be honest. 100% of all camping trips dissolve into firefights and tactical situations. If you leave your home, even for a moment, you will be shot. But if Tomb Raider is anything to go by, you don't even have to worry about it. In Lara's adventure, she gets shot. A lot. In the face. But it's whatever. Time after time in combat, Lara can be seen taking cover and healing over time. Is Lara magic? Do fish and chips transform you into the Wolverine? Or the girl Wolverine? Actually, no. Immediately after Lara goes all Denethor on her own ass, she falls onto a stray piece of rebar, which produces a visible wound, and later in the game leads to a mandatory side quest where she must perform first aid on herself with, you guessed it, fire! Added to the list of useful things. Axes, air freshener, stitches! Lara Croft in the extremely flammable island. But does she even bother to dress what must eventually become hundreds of bullet wounds? Nope. So the conclusion we must draw from this is, in the woods, bullet wounds heal themselves. That's right, campers. Throw away your paintball guns and get some earplugs. This year's Jamboree just got real. Lesson 3. The samurai invented bullets. One thing that is important to note, and that I cannot stress enough, is that in no point in your wilderness survival adventure will you encounter samurai. I mean, those don't even exist anymore. Tom Cruise killed all of them. You may, however, encounter timeless samurai mummies compelled to kill you by a malevolent storm goddess, but you know, why even mention that? That's just a thing. Yeah, newsflash. The sky is blue, water is wet, katana-wielding zombies wander Yellowstone in the spring. Whatever. What is important to mention is that if you're low on bullets, you can find a wide variety of modern ammunition on the bodies of fallen samurai. Maybe Japanese people in general. This is because the samurai actually invented bullets 5,000 years before the gun was invented. Or whenever guns were invented. I don't know. The 80s. Sure. Either way, the samurai are so fond of these damn things that they feel the need to carry them around in excess, despite the fact they have no damn use for them. My theory is that due to the relatively high specific gravity of lead, samurai use bullets to weigh their bodies down as a form of strength training. And you know, it works. I'm wearing hollow point ankle weights right now. So just to sum up, kids, wear live ammunition, light yourselves on fire. Now with everything we've covered so far in mind, you are ready for your wilderness survival adventure. But before you go, let's go over some important lessons we may have missed. It's impossible to fall off logs. Wet clothes won't give you a rash. Help yourself to any and all random camp stew. Nothing cauterizes a stab wound like a stab wound. Take your time, the wolves are in slow-mo. Someone trying to kill you doesn't give you the right to steal their superior weaponry and body armor. Just one bite of deer meat can satiate you for days. Never test a zip line. There's no such thing as a problem that can't wait. Hear that screaming? That's the last objective of the game, but whatevs. And spider crawling makes you bulletproof. Try to remember that ultimately, there is no one way to survive the great outdoors. Really, if you walk away alive, you've been successful, as the finding of a destination will always pale in comparison to the value of the journey itself. But as we take that journey, we must remind ourselves of the shoulders that we stand upon, of the brave men and women that built the societies that we enjoy, that it is the cooperation between ourselves that is the lifeblood of our way of living. That and grenade launchers. But that's the word of just one nerd.